Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the session this afternoon. We are here today and we want to make sure we go through a little housekeeping details before we get to our presenters. And so if you're looking to ask questions, you want to use your Q&A button there. And so that way you can ask any questions and our presenters will answer them for you. Additionally, we encourage you to sign up for more sessions through the PACAC website, as well as make sure your camera and microphone are off throughout the presentation. A recording will be available within the week, so feel free to log on to the PACAC website. That's pacac.org, and you'll be able to find out, refine this session and watch it back. And I will turn it over to our presenters.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Penny Howergan. I'm the Associate Dean of Enrollment Services at Northern Vermont University, and I'm really excited that you're joining us this afternoon to learn a little bit more about NVU. Joining me is Angelina Beckett, a graduate of NVU and now an admissions counselor who has Pennsylvania students in her recruitment territory. So although she works with students across the country, as students from Pennsylvania, you would be working with Angelina throughout this process. I also wanted to mention that another counselor in our office, Rasul Jackson, also an NVU graduate, is from Philadelphia. So if any of you are from the Philly area, just know that Rasul is on staff and is happy to answer questions about his experience. But for the most part, Angelina will be your counselor. We appreciate your willingness to log in to this Zoom college fair. This is not the ideal way to learn about an institution, but Angelina and I will do our best to highlight academic programs, touch on campus life, and talk about the admissions and financial aid process. We'd like to start with a few slides because we think visuals can be helpful. And probably the more important and fun part of the presentation will be Angelina talking about her experience as an NVU student, all the things that she was involved with and why, most importantly, you should add NVU to your college search and apply. We'll wrap up with next steps, things like scheduling an in-person or virtual visit, registering for open house. We do have a drive-in open house planned, and we also have some academic sessions with faculty if you know which program of study you're most interested in. So we can talk more about how you get registered for those. Also want to let you know that if you do visit either an open house or come to campus for a tour, and if you apply and enroll, you will receive a $250 visit credit. So just want to let you know about that special opportunity. You may have some questions and we hope to be able to answer those for you today. Again, Angelina can follow up with you following this fair, and we will have her contact information in the last slide so you can stay in touch. Mm-hmm. As far as another housekeeping detail, we just want to make sure we get all of your contact information. You've registered for this fair, so we should be getting that information in a week or two, but if you like, we will have a link to our inquiry form. That information is really helpful. We'd like your name, certainly email, phone, your intended major if you know, and perhaps your start term. So if you're a high school senior, the conversation is going to be a little different than if you're a high school junior. So would like to get all of that information so Angelina can keep you updated on the application process, financial aid, and merit-based scholarships. So we'll get started with some slides, but I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the slide behind me. This video, or this backdrop, is of Lake Willoughby, which is near our NVU Lyndon campus in the Northeast Kingdom, or as we say, the NEK. And it's a beautiful location. Students love to go there year-round. It's especially gorgeous this time of year during peak fall foliage. So I just want to point that out. Angelina has kind of the starry backdrop of campus as well. And so we'll get started to introduce you to our unique and amazing university. Okay, so what makes NVU unique? Well, we have two campuses. They are about an hour and 20 minutes apart. So a little background about NVU. We have a long tradition on the Johnson campus. We were founded in 1828. So we're an institution that's been around a long time. We've evolved over the years, and in the early 60s became part of the Vermont State College system. And about that time, Lyndon State College became part of the Vermont State College system. But only recently, in 2018, the two institutions merged to become Northern Vermont University. So it's pretty exciting because you would be applying to one university, but you would be accepted to both institutions. And we'll talk more about that in the application process. But in addition to our two physical campuses, we also offer NVU Online, which is very popular, and students from around the country and the world are enrolled in courses at Northern Vermont University. So, but our goal is to try to get you to come to our campuses to check them out. And so we'll start a little bit about the Johnson campus. Johnson is considered Vermont's premier public liberal arts institution, and we're known for our hands-on liberal arts experience and the internships and research opportunities. We have been selected by the Council of Public Liberal Arts Colleges as the Vermont institution, the premier institution. So there's one institution per state that qualifies as a public liberal arts institution by the PACAC organization. So this was a lot of vetting of our curriculum, our programming on the campuses. It was very intensive, and so we're proud to have that label. And it provides opportunities for students to present at some conferences through the PACAC organization and some other extracurricular activities. So the campus itself in Johnson is in the town of Johnson. It's 350 acres, 14 buildings. Our student population is about 1,000. 80% are in-state. Our 20% of students come from, in this year's count, from 15 states, and we've had some international students in the past. This year, because of COVID, there was obviously some restrictions with international students, but that is our student body makeup, and our student faculty ratio is 15:1, which lends itself to very small class discussions. As far as clubs and organizations, it can vary from year to year depending on student interests. Some of the larger programs or clubs on the Johnson campus include Basement Medicine, which is the name of our student newspaper, the Dance Club, the Outing Club, the Radio Station, Wellness Club, and naturally the Ski and Snowboard Club are very popular, along with student government. We are at NVU a Division III institution. So one institution 2 campuses and 2 athletic teams. So on the Johnson campus, our mascot is the Badger. And these are the listing of our varsity sports. We field competitive teams. Our coaches are ready to talk with you about the opportunities and about how the tryouts work. Some have preseason and they can get into the details of that. First and foremost, as a D3 athlete, we are not allowed to offer athletic scholarships, so that's often a question that comes up, but we feel that the student athlete is a student first, athlete second. So our teams are very committed to playing hard, but again, academics kind of our top priority here. So beyond the campus, the Lyndon campus, as I said, about an hour and 20 minutes. It's in the town of Lyndonville, Vermont. And keep in mind, we are in the northern tier, both campuses. So for example, Johnson is about an hour and a half from Montreal. The Lyndon campus, very close to the Canadian border. And on that campus, we're known for our distinct professional programs. Does have a liberal arts core, but we have nationally recognized programs in atmospheric sciences, broadcast and digital journalism, and exercise science. And overall, between the 2 campuses, we have over 70 academic programs you can choose from. The campus at Lyndon, 211 acres, 24 buildings, about the same population as on the Johnson campus. The breakdown there, in-state and out-of-state, is a little different, more out-of-state students on the Lyndon campus, but the student-faculty ratio is pretty consistent at 15:1. So again, some small classes. These are some of our top nationally recognized programs on the Lyndon campus. And again, many opportunities for research with faculty and internships across the curriculum. Athletics on the Lyndon campus, we are known as the Hornets. And this is the listing of all the varsity sports. Again, you can be looking at both campuses. If you're a basketball player, then probably coaches on both campuses will be wanting to talk with you and recruit you to their team. But we encourage you to visit both campuses, learn as much as you can. Some academic programs are only offered on a specific campus, so you'll just have to keep that in mind. If that is not your primary concern and you're just passionate about playing basketball, I mean, you'll find a program that fits your needs probably on either campus. But we would encourage you to fill out the Recruit Me form on the NVU website so that that information will go directly to the coaches and they will be reaching out to you. Again, clubs and organizations, very important as part of the Lyndon community as well. You know, everything from the a cappella club to Lyndon Ski and Ride, Outing Club, and their student government. Keep in mind these programs or these clubs can change from year to year depending on student interest. Beyond your campus. So there are a lot of opportunities. We won't get into all of it today, but one thing that's always been very important to NVU students is opportunity to travel. And of course, there are restrictions this year because of COVID, but we are a participant in the National Student Exchange Program and the International Student Program on the Johnson campus. Many travel opportunities through academic coursework on the Lyndon campus. And we're just hoping that in the future we'll be able to do more of that. But in terms of, I think our next slide is just about the application process. Yes, so we are on rolling admissions at Northern Vermont University, which means once you've decided you want to apply, you can do that at any point. We would encourage you to apply as soon as possible, but we will make these decisions on a rolling basis. So once you have submitted your application and we have your official high school transcript, we will make a decision. We will not hold the decisions and release them, say, March 1st. We're going to let you know as we review your information. Because you have attended this event and because you'll be working with Angelina, we're happy to waive the application fee, and Angelina can tell you more about that in a follow-up. And if you put her name in the Common App, we have an NVU application, but we also use the Common App. So if you put Angelina's name in the fee waiver information, you will not have to pay that $50. We are a test optional school, so if you have taken SATs or ACTs, certainly provide them, but that is not our primary focus. We're more concerned with the level of courses you've taken throughout your 4 years, and with an emphasis on your grades in your junior and senior years. Certainly you can provide other letters of recommendation if you like, but these are the criteria that we're really focused on. Once you've been accepted to NVU, we would encourage you to pay your deposit, which secures your place in the class. May 1st is the standard candidate reply date for most colleges, but if you know NVU is where you want to be, then the sooner you deposit, the sooner we can work with you on next steps, get you the new student checklist, which would have everything from the housing application, information about registering for courses, health forms, just all the details in order to move forward with enrollment at NVU. Now, part of looking at colleges, and as you go through this process, you're going to see a range of prices, and it can be overwhelming. And we all know that it's an investment in your future, but of course, most families cannot simply just finance this on their own. So students need to apply for financial aid. And the way you do that is by completing the FAFSA, and that stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. I'm sure your school counselors are providing information about that, but just know that you can find all the details and links right on the NVU website. I would just advise you as you're starting to look at the financial aid forms, the FAFSA, when you go to the site, just be careful which application year you're completing. If you plan to enroll for fall 2021, so next fall, you're going to complete the 21-22 FAFSA. You'll also see for some students who might be transferring or they're graduating early, maybe they want to start in spring 21, those students need to complete the 2020-21 FAFSA. So just be mindful of that. It's easy to get confused, but if you work on that, be sure to include the name of the universities, colleges you plan to, you want your information sent to. For us, Northern Vermont University, and our code is 003688. Once you've been accepted, then our Student Administrative Services Office will be able to award you aid. And that may be a combination of grants, of scholarships, of loans, of federal work study. It all gets pieced together. And keep in mind that each institution has its own forms of funding. And so while you may be accepted at several universities, colleges, Your financial aid awards will be very different, and the bottom line will be very different at each institution. So this is where Angelina is going to be really helpful to walk you through the process and just help you understand the types of aid. And once you've made your decision, if you decide to enroll at NVU, all the steps that you'll need to complete to finalize your financial aid. Now, some of the aid is merit-based, so that means that we'll be looking at your GPA to determine, not on need, but on merit, how much you qualify for. And for out-of-state students, the scholarships range from $7,250 to $11,250. These are renewable scholarships as long as you're in good academic standing. So once you've been awarded it, if you're in good standing, you're going to get that every year. You don't need to reapply. But you will need to reapply for the FAFSA every year, and that's important. Right now, you're just worried about trying to identify colleges where you want to apply, filling out the FAFSA, but there are more steps once you enroll at an institution to make sure you're following the deadlines for maybe institutional scholarships, completing that FAFSA, and making sure you've got everything you need to continue for future years. So it can seem pretty overwhelming right now. I think, you know, the key to all of this, you're starting early, identify the schools. If you can, try to visit. I know in these times it's challenging, but we are trying to accommodate students as best we can. And then, of course, the money side of it does come into play as well. But we do have a lot of opportunities for scholarships once you enroll. It's pretty standard when you apply, but then there are other opportunities. So this is what the breakdown would look like for an out-of-state student. So the total cost of attendance is about $39,000 for the year. Again, keep in mind that there are scholarships, there are grants, there's student loans, which you pay back after you graduate, or if you dropped out, there's a 6-month grace period, and then your loan goes into repayment. And so you really just have to do some exploration within your schools and your communities. Try to get your name out there, apply for as many scholarships as possible. If you do receive outside scholarships, as we call them, we will want to know about that before you enroll so that we know how that is going to impact the aid that we've offered you and reduce the bottom line for you. So this is a lot to kind of, in a short amount of time here. There is a ton of information on our website. I would encourage you to check that out. But I think I'll just turn it over to Angelina to talk a little bit about her experience here, because sometimes the best information comes from people who have gone through the university and have learned firsthand. So Angelina, take it away.
Thank you so much, Penny. That was great. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I'm so happy to talk to you about NVU today. So I started my college journey in 2016. That's when I enrolled at NVU. I am from out of state. I'm originally from New Hampshire, and I had no idea that NVU even existed back when I was applying. One of the admissions counselors that still works here today, actually, he approached me at my high school to provide some information about the school, and I was like, you know, I've already decided, I've got a path in mind, and he completely changed everything I had planned. I knew what school I wanted to go to, I knew what major that I wanted, and with the information that he gave me about NVU, I completely changed my track and just had to visit. I did visit, and I deposited that same day. I just knew that NVU was for me. So then I started my journey here. I attended campus in the fall of 2016. I enrolled in the psychology program as that was my original plan. So that was really great. The program was incredible. The faculty and staff here are so attentive to what your plans are, what your dreams are, and really what you want to get out of your degree. They make it really, really tangible and feasible for you. While I was here, my program did require me to do an internship in order to be able to graduate, but I decided to do two, of course. I did one my sophomore year as a criminal court victims advocate with the Clarina Howard Nichols Center, which is an organization here in Morrisville, Vermont. I did that internship for an entire semester and then went back to my academics for my junior year and was actually offered a position with them the summer after my junior year. So I was able to work full-time my senior year with a paid position and get internship credit in order to finish up my degree program, which was a really incredible opportunity to get some really good experience before actually entering the workforce, which is a really unique opportunity and put me in a really good place in terms of looking for positions. I was super involved on campus as well. I was an orientation leader, which is a group of students who are hired to help bring the new freshman class onto campus during our summer and fall orientations. That was probably my favorite thing being a part of on campus, which is funny that I ended up here as an admissions counselor because it's a very similar set of things to do. I also was a lead singer in our Funk Fusion ensemble here on campus. We performed in the fall and spring semesters. That was an incredible opportunity as well. I was able to do solos my first semester being part of the group because it was such a small, intimate setting, which you find with a lot of the clubs here on campus. It's a smaller number of people, so you really get to get in there and get hands-on with your experiences. We also, while I was here, started the first official NVU chapter of Active Minds, which is a organization and a group that works to start conversations about mental health specifically on college campuses, just with all of the pressures of the academics, the sports if you're an athlete, and just helping you get through it and also staying healthy mentally as well. So we started the first chapter of that here on this campus as well. I also did a lot of work study positions. These are paid positions that you can have on campus depending on your financial aid package. I worked in the admissions office as a student office professional before I started as a adult office professional, I guess. And then I also worked as the Dibden box office manager. I did a little bit of record stuff with the alumni office, and I also was a secretary in the first year experience office. I was able to develop these really integral skills, computer work, working with Excel, communications, talking to people through the box office, and really just establishing my professional persona while still being an undergraduate and still exploring exactly what it is I wanted to be professionally. It was a really great opportunity to learn what different aspects of the workforce are like while I'm still able to safely learn and experience them as well. I graduated just this May in 2020, the COVID class, and I graduated with honors. I got the department award in the psychology program for the entire psychology class of 2020, and I am one of very many very talented students on this campus. One of the things that really drew me to come here when I came to tour was the fact that I could walk down the sidewalk and know nobody, but they would all smile and they would all wave and they were just good people. Coming from a small town, that was something that I didn't think I'd get at a college. I felt like I'd be another number. But the experience at Johnson and the people that are here and that flock here from all over the world are really inspiring and really welcoming. So it's really great to be a part of the place here. This is a really incredible family to be a part of. And that's my little spiel as a student. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the little chat box with your button. Questions about anything, financial aid, like Penny was talking about, clubs, activities, student life, we can answer it all. So we would
Angelina, I'm going to throw you a curveball and just ask, is there anything you wished you had known about the college application process when you were a high school senior? Was there anything that would have been helpful? Because this is a really stressful time for students trying to navigate all of this, especially during COVID. You know, that was obviously a challenge you didn't have to face, but is there any advice you might have for how to navigate this whole process?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am also a first generation college student. I'm the first person in my family to complete any kind of higher education degree, bachelor's, associates, anything. So the application process for me was super difficult. I didn't really have anyone to lean on. So what I would recommend is to just, obviously you should always form your own opinions and make your own decisions as best you can, but I think it's really important to lean on and to listen to the advice coming from people who have done it before. Admissions counselors, me,
School counselors.
Yeah, school counselors. If you know the colleges that you're looking into have people that you can access, absolutely. Just asking as many questions as you can, and so that you can make really influentially educated decisions about your choices, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So, do we have any questions? Anything posted in the chat yet? Or in the Q&A, I should say?
I don't see anything.
Okay.
That's okay. Sometimes no questions are good. So this slide, this follow-up materials slide that you guys are seeing has a bunch of links to make things a little bit easier depending on where you are in your process. We've got a link for our application. This is the NVU app that is different from the Common App, like Penny had been talking about. This application doesn't require all of those additional materials, just the more basic information. So there's a link for that. There's also a link for an inquiry card. If you're kind of juggling a lot of different choices for schools, this is a really good way to just get some tailored information based on what you're interested in. We've also got scholarship information, the link to schedule a visit so that you can get that $250 visit credit should you choose to enroll. My contact information is there as well. I really, really hope if you guys have any questions, any concerns, anything, that you reach out to me. My email is on that link. My phone number is on that link. So I just want to be really accessible to you guys. And then we also have a really, really great video that kind of captures what our campuses look like at all times of year. It's got students and what they're working on. So we'd really love it if you wanted to check that video out. This really captures what we're doing here at MVU.
Thank you, Angelina.
Of course.
Okay. Well, if there aren't any questions, I think, you know, we can sign off for now, but we hope that we hear from you, that you are interested. We've piqued your interest in NVU and all that we have to offer. And again, to learn more about our academic programs, please feel free to go to the NVU website, Northern Vermont, all spelled out, .edu, and you'll get detailed information on academic programs and a ton of other information on athletics and campus life, and of course, the admissions and financial aid process. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
All right, thank you both Penny and Angelina. Students, again, just a reminder that you are able to sign up for additional sessions at pacac.org. Again, a recording will be available, so if you want to, again, watch what NVU has to offer, please feel free to go on the website and take a look at this recording. I know that Angelina shared a lot of great links, so feel free to go check them out. And then a quick survey will be given right after I end this broadcast. So I hope everyone has a nice weekend. Thank you to both Penny and Angelina again, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.